Oh, there you are. Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. What we're doing today is we are making a cedar Telecaster guitar body. You don't have to make yours out of cedar. You can make it out of any wood you want. But the first place that we should start is probably in front of the computer, and we should CAD this up real quick. I will include those files in a link down below, and I will also include in this video somewhere a coupon code that will allow you to download those files for free. So let's get into the computer and get after it. Hey, if you like what you see here or you found it interesting or useful, why don't you give that subscribe button a click. Maybe give us a like, maybe hit the little bell thingy, lets you know when we put up new videos. What? Huh? Oh, my lawyer would like a word with you.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
So this is how you'll get the file from us. It probably won't be positioned like this one. It'll probably be down here in this corner. Maybe it'll be at 00. I don't know how whatever program you are using, how it will place it. So you will have to place it wherever you start, however you want to set it up. A lot of guys go right here at the back. Some people go right in the middle. I do it this way. I know where this point is. That's where these lines are, these grid lines. And so I always know that the middle of the body at the rear is where I always start. But yours will be different, okay, probably. So to start with, let's go over here and look at the setup. Again, I always leave mine the full. I have a Journeyman, so it's 48 by 32, and it shows the full thing. But what I'm getting at right here is 1.75 thick. That's the standard thickness of a body, and that's what I use. So we'll hit OK. We'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see. Okay, so now let's start to work, and let's think about this a little bit. Where do we want to start? Which one do we want to cut first? It doesn't really matter, except that you probably don't want to cut the outer contour first, because you'll only have a couple of tabs hanging on to where for cutting the rest of this. So let's decide now that we want to do that last. Okay, so let's just start, for whatever reason, with the bridge pickup. So we'll get the bridge pickup, and we want to make a pocket. That right. I know that various teles have various depths for the pickup pockets, depending what year, whatever. I always use 3/4 of an inch, 0.75. There's some modern pickups that are stacked. Who knows what you're gonna put in there. So you might as well make them deep enough to handle everything. It maybe will take a little bit longer to machine it out, but that shouldn't, that little bit doesn't matter. I use a 6mm bit that I have set up for basswood. That's speeds and feeds. You may be cutting something else, so your bit may vary. It's going to take it 2 passes. I normally do a conventional cut, not a climb cut. I normally ramp my plunge moves. Okay, I'm going to go 1 inch here. Just puts less stress on the bit. I push mine pretty hard. No pocket allowance, so let's call this bridge pickup. Okay, it'll cut that. All right. How about mine automatically switches to this view? I just switch it back right up here. What do we want to cut next? Well, let's cut the neck pickup. So we'll select that. We'll do a pocket, and we'll use all the same stuff, same depth, same ramp, plunge moves, everything. We're just going to call it neck pickup. Perfect. Okay, now let's cut the control cavity. Same thing, except here we're going to cut this deeper. Depending what kind of switches you use, everything else, your mileage may vary here. I normally cut them 1.4 inches. Everything's still conventional cut. I still ramp the plunge. I do all that, so everything's the same. I mean, I can put these together pretty quick. We'll call this control, if I can spin it right, control cavity. Very nice. I guess the only thing left besides the profile is the neck pocket. So let's get the neck pocket. We'll make another pocket just like it sounds. This one, Fender Standard, is 5/8. So 5/8 is 0.625. We're going to ramp it. We're going to do all that other stuff. We're just, the only other change we're going to make is call it the neck pocket. Okay. Lastly, now we can finally cut the outer profile. So what we'll do is we will highlight the outer profile. We're not going to pocket it, okay? We're going to use the profile toolpath. So these are 1.75 thick. Because I use like a sacrificial spoil board under all mine, I normally cut them about 30 thousandths deeper. Gives me a nice clean cut. Okay, select, I don't know why that's gone 4 millimeter. I'm going to go 6 millimeter basswood. And right here I want to go on the outside because this is my final dimension. So I want to go on the outside. Regular conventional cut is fine. And I do want to add some tabs. Remember, this thing's in a blank. It's about 16 inches long and about 13.5 inches wide. So I will normally put a clamp right here and right here, if you can think of a square around the outside of that thing. So I'm going to want to put tabs right about here and right about here because that'll hold on to it while I'm cutting through. So let's add some tabs. Go over here, add some tabs. I normally like my tabs about 3/4 of an inch long, and I like them about 0.3 thick. Okay, and I want to edit those tabs. Oh, look, I put them in about the right spot. I don't even know that I want to edit them. That looks good to me, honestly. So we'll leave those tabs there. Do we ramp? I always ramp just a little bit, not a whole lot, because of the geometry. So I'm going to leave that at 0.2, and I'm going to call this outer profile. Because this is so thick, be careful of what bit you're using. It's got to be deep enough to cut all the way through that. So be careful there. And some guys will do a last pass to kind of clean it up. I have found that I don't need to with these speeds and feeds. I don't need to do a last pass. It's pretty clean, and I go around the edge with a big drum sander all the time anyhow, so that's not going to matter. So let's calculate that. It tells me it's going to cut through, and I want it to. Again, your mileage may vary, so, you know, kind of figure out what you're going to do as far as spoil board or whatever. Maybe you want to go right to the bottom. Maybe you want to leave a little bit. That's up to you. Okay, so it has calculated it. And here we see everything. You'll notice that my outer profile is all the way at the bottom. So I want to cut the outer profile last. This is the order that I want to do. I am going to reset the preview, and then I always preview these things. Okay, I always do that just because you can make a mistake and you don't see it, and something weird happens when you're machining it. So I will always, you can see it's putting them all in. There you go. You can see the tabs are there. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me move her to the middle. You can see there's a tab there. You can see there's a tab there. I'll tilt it for you a little bit so we can see what's going on. That looks pretty good. That is what I want to cut. So I'm going to call that good. Call that good. I'm going to go back to my 2D view. Now I'm going to make absolutely sure that I select all of the toolpaths, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to generate the G-code here where it's saved toolpath. I'm going to generate that. Now mine, I can do this because all of these are the same router bit. I don't have to change bits. I don't have to do any of that. So that's primarily why I use a 6mm router bit for a lot of the stuff that I do. Okay, so we're looking at all the toolpaths. All of them are there. Looks good. Let's save this toolpath. Okay, and if I were actually saving this, well, let's just actually save it. I'll save it right there, and I'll put this toolpath. Don't worry about where it's putting it. I'll go back later and fix it, but save the toolpath. Okay, so we save the toolpath. Another thing I have to note here, for me personally, what I'll do when I'm ready to machine this is I'll move it to a jump drive, because the shop is not on the same Wi-Fi, and I just find it easier to move it with a jump drive. And then I'll move it over there, and you can see that video. That'll be linked to this one. There'll be a link down below, and you can see how I do that. Because of the way this is, because of the way I have this set up, you'll notice right here is 0 and right here is 0. That's 0. Okay? Now when I home my machine, when I get out there in the morning and I home my machine, it goes to this point. A Onefinity will go to this point unless you change it. That's as far forward as you can get, and as far over to the left as you can get, and as far up as you can get. And it'll call those three zeros, 0x, 0y, and 0z. And you'll note when I put the blank in there where I put it. I have this set up, and I know where that is. There's like an X on my spoil board, and I'll know exactly where to put this. So when I'm getting ready to machine it, I don't have to reset my X and Y. Those are already right here. I will have to zero my Z. I'll have to bring the cutter that I'm using, in this case a 6mm, down till it just touches the top of the blank, and then I will set that to 0. Then I'll have all three zeros where I need them. And it will start right down in here, and when I turn the machine on, or when I hit the go button, you'll see it move out to here and start doing these things. It won't move to here because, remember, we cut that last.
All right, here's the part of the video that most or some or all or many of you have been waiting for. It's the part where I give you the coupon code so you can get those files for free. If I've done my job right, and there's no reason to think that I haven't, that coupon code should be right here. Here's the deal. You go to the link down below in the description, go to the website, and it's going to try to charge you money for those files. Don't do that. Check out like you normally would. When it asks you for the coupon code, put this in, and it'll give it to you for free. Let you download those files for free. You're welcome, I guess. Thanks for watching. Let's go back to the video.
So that should do it. This one's pretty simple. Single-sided. I don't have to flip it over and cut a tremolo spring cavity or anything else in the back. So it's a real simple one to make. I know that cycle time on this is about 6 minutes in basswood. It's about 1 3/4 times that in ash. Ash is just harder to machine. But get your speeds and feeds right for your machine and your bit that you're using. So check out that other one where we go, the other video, which is linked below, where we go and we cut this and we'll make the body.